Hey everyone, welcome back to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar, and we're going to be diving into a bunch of reports from you guys from around the world. We've got South Africa checking in, Australia checking in, giving us updates on what's happening out there, as well as I will be leading off with a few relevant news stories here. With all that said, let's jump right into it. If you have your own reports that you want to share with us, please do either put them in a comment of any one of the videos on this channel. Just use the word update somewhere in there and let us know what you guys are seeing there, something that you've seen firsthand, store shelves, or something you know from work, or something that should be getting out to other people. If you want to protect your identity, you can always email me directly at the poplarpreparedness@gmail.com. Let's go over to California, where a train that was heading from California to Wyoming, 60,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate disappeared, which can be used both as fertilizer and as explosives, and they are unable to find it at this time. A viewer in the Vancouver, Washington area shares this: vehicular theft is increasing, and a neighbor had a hay baler stolen from a field. The Vancouver, Washington area used to have 5 to 6 vehicle thefts a day, but I'm guessing it is much higher now. Worse in Portland, Oregon. One thing that happens a lot in our area, drug addicts stealing cars, is that cars get chopped, often in homeless camps, and parts shipped to Asia in containers, or the parts are resold in the U.S. So Malaysia has set up, so it might be wise to place tracking devices not only on your vehicles, but also on your farm equipment. When recovery is of the essence, also mark them in a hidden place in some way so they can be identified even if the VIN gets scratched off. Malaysia has set up a committee to address the sugar shortage. So I was talking about that before, and it is getting worse out there, and now you see even the nation of Malaysia is not because they heard Steve Poplar talking about it, but because they see the sugar shortage as a major issue. Malaysia is a major Asian country. That's their name, in northern Virginia, near the airport. 3 nearest Walmarts, still no GV, great value, canned corned beef, no Banner canned sausage, and no 12-ounce GV instant coffee. D Freak says, in Oregon, the biggest towns, cities have more shortages than the smaller places, at least on the western side. I also wonder about the differences in red versus blue regions. Back when we had the really extreme food shortages about 1.5 years ago, I actually did a breakdown chart of blue states versus red states, and was not able to find a definitive correlation, but we did find what seemed to be a correlation between cities and rural areas. Rural areas having less in stock versus cities being better stocked. So we haven't run that for a while. If when we see food shortages pick back up again, maybe we'll dust that spreadsheet off again and try to give it another go. But Heidi, who says, I live in southeast Michigan and am having difficulty finding 20 milligram Adderall medication for my daughter. She can only get a 30-day supply at a time. I have had to call numerous pharmacies for the last 3 months trying to find a pharmacy that has it in stock. Very frustrating. Rose also chimed in on that. Also in southeast Michigan, and my adult daughter hasn't been able to get it either. Greg in Nature Coast, Florida, went to Dollar General. The can aisle was 2/3 full. Holes of some things not being in stock. I got the last 4 cans of corned beef hash. 6 cans of Spam were there, since you like to know such things. Yes, we do like to track the Spam. Canned drinks were nearly gone, maybe a dozen at most. There was half of the bread section left. Only seen half gallons for milk. No blue caps or gallons. So blue caps being 2% probably. Unless they're the light blue caps, then they're 1%, right? You guys all know that. Unless you're not from the United States, then you don't know that, right? Eve says, Central Ohio update. Went to my local Giant Eagle, that's a grocery store we have around these parts, and saw something odd. They only have grape and strawberry jelly and jam. And the huge jelly producer, Smucker's, is owned and operated in the state of Ohio. My favorite flavor, black raspberry, was not available. I haven't checked in any other grocery stores nor Walmart to see, that they have, but I found this very odd. I also noticed that, yet again, they are shrinking the area for eggs and butter. I live in a rural area and smaller towns, 80,000 plus residents in Tuscarawas County. Forrester says, Australia government budget for the next 12 months. New transport tax on trucks. Road tax up 6%, meaning everything transported by trucks will get passed on to consumers. Will it never end? And 6% tobacco tax in September. Tobacco will be $40 per pack of 25 cigarettes. That's cheap for Australia, apparently. Dimboola Blade Works in Australia says both Coles and Woolworths, both 2 grocery stores over there, have increased prices on the majority of canned vegetables, especially house brands. Only 1 brand of instant potatoes available now. Aldi no longer carrying their own brands and not carrying canned potatoes. Coles and Woolworths house brand canned potatoes up from $1.60 Australian dollars to $2, $1.60 to $2 even. That is from Australia. Notice what they're saying about the potatoes. There being issues in potatoes. And I'm warning you, potato issues are going to be coming this summer. Mark my words. Mid to late summer, you're going to start seeing potatoes disappear. That's what the numbers are telling us out there. Vanessa sharing a warning from South Africa. South Africa, we have big retail stores telling us they are having shortages on maize meal or cornmeal. And paper products like toilet paper as well as long life milk. The prices are ridiculous as well. Interest rates set to increase again, and Eskom, which is their power company over there, load shedding only getting worse with our winter on its way. For those of you need the reminder, they're on the other side of the hemisphere, so they have inverse seasons as against us northern folks. The government has decided that we need to print new money, which basically looks same as old money we have, but this is just to be able to fool us by increasing money in circulation. So the South African government is intentionally going to try to print their way out of the jam that they're in financially. Rent is becoming expensive. My contract said 8% increase when the new contract came. My rent was increased 12%. I asked why, and they just said the taxes are more expensive. If you don't like the increase, move out. The retail company I work for is also laying off people, and they keep on telling us it is going to be an ongoing process. So at this point, I am stocking up on what I can, which is not much due to the cost, but trying. Please listen to Steve. Things are going downhill fast for us, and looking at all that is going on in the world as a whole, everybody is heading in the same direction, downhill. So that's your warning from South Africa, folks. If you're following along with what's going on in South Africa, you know that they are ahead of us, but we do seem to be going the same direction as them. Pollyanna says, update for you gardeners now that time to plant. That this is time to plant this year. I've only noticed pepper plants and tomato plants at 3 major locations in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. No beans, no cucumbers, no zucchini, no variety, just peppers and tomatoes. Good things I had seeds, so I'm going to start them myself. Are you guys seeing a similar thing out there where you can buy potted plants or plants ready to go in the ground? Are you seeing a shortage of things, not tomatoes and not pepper plants? Let us know in the comments about that. Once again, use the word update in your update. This video is brought to you by Genesis Gold Group. If you have retirement funds that you want to move over into something safe like gold, silver, platinum, you might want to talk to Jonathan and his team. They are focused on providing Christian, ethically sourced information as well as guidance on that. If you're not a Christian, they can just deal with you as a regular person too. But if you're looking for some spiritual guidance on that too, they can provide that as well. You can find them down in the description down below. Granite Moss has this to say: sugar update in Keene, New Hampshire. Granulated, 4-pound bag, generic and branded. Walmart, well stocked. Hannaford and Aldi, barely any. So Walmart has it, but Hannaford, the store, and Aldi, they do not have it in stock. All right, folks, please do keep your reports coming in. I'm so glad to be a part of this community where you guys chip in and chime in and share information with each other. Keep being kind to each other. I love you guys all for that. There's another video up on the screen here from my channel. You might want to check that out over there. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.